what I'm about to show you guys is very offensive. Are you guys ready or not? Because if it's very, I just don't want, you know, I just want you guys to be ready. Because sometimes people just cannot take certain reality, right? So this is going to be what it is. There's a sector that indicate that takes too long. I'm not sure, right? But this is a tier list. This tier list has offended a lot of people. Okay, so as you can see, right, in this particular tier list, so you can clearly see right there, there's a lot of the rankings of the games. Okay, not a tier list. Now, we're gonna try to analyze. We're gonna try to be fair. We're gonna try to look at all of these as it is, and I will give my opinion on this particular tier list. Alright, so which one is going to be the best one in each of these categories. So there's multiple different categories right here. As you can see, there is a story, character design, animation, events, okay, combat, music, and of course everybody's favorite, the end game. Wuwa is Hoyo now. Okay, this is not about Wuwa or Hoyo, right? It's about the tier list. It's just about tier list as a whole, right? So let's look at this. So right now for story, Genshin number one. Genshin number one. Best story in the entire gacha genre. Alright? Think about it, right? Everybody likes it. Story, Wuthering Waves number 2. Okay? And the worst story of all, Zenless Zone Zero. And don't even argue about it. Don't even try to argue that Zenless Zone Zero has good story, right? Genshin number 1, Wuthering Wave number 2, Honkai Impacted number 3, Honkai Star Rail I guess is number 4, I guess, right? So do you guys agree or not? For story, right? We're talking about story. Do we have a story lover in chat? Not somebody that skips, you know? Like, I'm talking about story lover. No way Genshin is number 1. Why not? Genshin is number 1 because everybody loves Paimon. Right? It's the only game with Paimon. Completely wrong? Okay, which one do you guys think is number 1? Be honest, which one do you guys think is number 1? Oh no, this one. Honkai Impacted is third. I don't know, does it deserve first though, right? Because like ZZZ story is good, but is it better than Gen? Because Genshin is always number 1. Honkai Star Rail is the last one for you in the story. You don't skip ZZZ story. Genshin is a drama. It's not the drama, okay? It's about... Okay, be honest, which one do you guys think is number 1? I'm just saying, right? Like, for me... Okay, I'll tell you guys what I think. Honkai Star Rail, I think is too bloated. I think Honkai Star Rail has gotten worse over time. So I don't know where it's gonna go. It's a little bit unfair, right? Because like ZZZ has the least amount of story because it's the most recent game. Honkai Impacted, I heard the story was quite sad, but I'm not too familiar with Honkai Impacted, so I can't really gauge it. But I think Wuthering Wave story and Genshin story, I can see why people don't like Wuthering Wave story because it's like sort of monotonous. Monotonous in terms of like, it's like the same, right? It's like every time you date a character, every time you go out with the same character. Sure, right? If that's going to be something that bothers you, I can see that. But at the end of the day, I actually like ZZZ story the most. Like for me, if I have to vote this one, I will put ZZZ number 1. I'll probably put I don't know about Honkai Impacted, so I won't rank that one. But for me, I think it's ZZZ. Is Genshin better than Wuthering Wave though? I didn't follow Genshin enough. I stopped at Inazuma. So up to Inazuma, I feel like they are about the same. Genshin and Wuthering Wave is about the same. Honkai Star Rail, I think it's a bit behind. That's why I'll rank it, right? You only play Genshin and Wuthering Wave. Genshin is much better than Wuthering Wave in story. Okay, so let's talk about character design. Okay, let's just focus on one thing at a time, right? I don't want to... We just focus on character design. Character design. Genshin has the best character design. Okay. Second is Wuthering Waves. Okay. Third is Honkai Star Rail. And last is Zenless Zone Zero. Do you guys agree? Wuthering Wave character design. Okay, this one I disagree. I think I like Wuthering Waves. I think Wuthering Wave is pretty cool. So look at this, right? This is the character design for Wuthering Wave. I think the character design of Wuthering Wave is at most a 7 out of 10. Wuthering Wave, in my opinion, where they are good at is the combat. Now, I don't think their character design is bad, right? I don't think it's bad, but I feel like for me, if I have to pick character design, I don't know, man. Based on what I've seen so far, like these one are the latest characters, right? So again, it's not too fair to just gauge it based upon the latest character. This has been made by a shield. It is a bit complicated though, because when it comes to character design, what is the criteria? Is it the diversity? Is it the amount of different characters or different body types and stuff like that? If you're talking about amount of diversity and different body types, I would say ZZZ has probably a little bit more, right? ZZZ has fat dude, have the fat panda, has band bigger. ZZZ has a furry Lycoan. ZZZ has the L word. ZZZ has Max, like Banyue, and sit in the Mac, right? ZZZ has the furry lolly that's coming out soon, Zhao. I do think that in terms of diversity, if you're talking about character design, that's going to be where I'm leaning towards, right? For me, it's going to be ZZZ a little bit, right? Genshin do have a bit of variety as well, but then again, it's again not fair, right? Because Genshin has been out longer, so it has more characters, right? Does it make sense? So it's probably going to be hard. I don't think character design you can put Honkai Impacted even close to the rest. I think Honkai Impacted has to be the last, because it has it's quite generic and there's no dudes, right? So therefore you can only have so much designs. Wuwao is the only picture without the company name. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Okay, next up, animation. Alright guys, animation. So Wuthering Wave has the best animation. I'm not sure what does it mean. Animation, graphics, is it? Do they mean graphics? Animation. Wuthering Wave looks prettier than Genshin. Honkai Star Rail don't have much animation, I think. Honkai Impacted I thought has a lot of animation, but it's mostly on YouTube, right? I'm not sure what do they mean by animation actually. I'm guessing it's graphics. I think ZZZ has, I think it's talking about cutscenes and stuff, right? I like ZZZ's cutscenes. For me, I would say Wuthering Wave, ZZZ. The rest has less cutscenes, for sure. Right? ZZZ second in animation. Yeah, I think Honkai Impacted has quite a lot of animation as well, but it's mostly on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's there in the game, right? How is the heck is Honkai Star Rail over ZZZ animation? Okay, next up, events. Zelda Zone Zero has the best event in the entirety. Is it true? ZZZ number 1 in events. So what does ZZZ has in terms of events? Bang Boo Fall Guys. But Genshin has TCG though. Genshin has Melee Astra Wonderland. But I guess that doesn't count as event, I think. That's like separate one. Right, we're talking about events specifically. ZZZ has Arknight's collab, that's true, right? The last event was pretty boring. The last event was it's alright, right? But we're not just talking about the last event, right? We're comparing everything. Honkai Impacted's events, I'm not familiar with that. Wuthering Wave event. Okay, I do agree that Honkai Star Rail has one of the worst events. Wuthering Wave events are trash. They were some good. I like the tower defense one. Remember the tower defense that you put the 3D, you put the thing. I like that one. I also like the fishing. I'm a big fan of fishing, right? Everybody here knows fishing number 1. But other than that, yeah, sure. This one could be a different thing on its own, right? Tower defense was way too long. Well, it's fun, right? I don't care if it's long or not. Maybe it's a little bit too long for some people, but fishing was still longer, right? Honkai has bunny event. Okay, so what about combat? Okay, the most important one, combat. Alright, we're talking about combat. Which one has the best combat? In terms of mechanics, in terms of the best combat system. So number 1, Genshin. Alright, number 1. Genshin has the best combat. Number 2, Wuthering. Number 3, Zelda Zone Zero. Okay. So Honkai Star Rail is like, how do you compare turn-based combat, right? How do you compare turn-based combat with everything else here? And the last is Honkai Impacted. I think I would swap this around. I would swap Wuthering Wave and put it here. I will put ZZZ second. I will put Genshin third. That's for me though, right? Actually, yeah, it's hard though, right? Like, because ZZZ is simpler. It's simpler, right? Like, is it because it's simpler so it doesn't count for the good combat? Maybe that's why, right? It's hard to say as well. Can't really compare a turn-based. Yeah, that's the thing, right? When you compare combat, I think it's just, I guess you're just comparing which one is more fun. I guess maybe this one is more fun for that particular user, right? Third on combat should be Honkai Impacted. Honkai Impacted I think is okay, right? But that's just how it is, right? Honkai Star Rail is last. But turn-based though. Turn-based. Okay, next up. Music. The most important one. Which game has the best music? Genshin, number 1. Best music, right? Everybody loves Sumeru music. Number 2, Wuthering music. Number 3, Honkai Impacted. Number 4, Honkai Star Rail music. And the worst music of all, Zenless Zone Zero, the worst music. Okay? Now why is it bad? Because Zenless Zone Zero is just hip hop. Like who cares, right? People like Yu Chengpen, Genshin style of music, right? Like the country, whatever the genre is called. More like smooth, relaxing music, I guess. That's what people like. The best list, Wuthering Wave music is mid. I'm trying to think, is there a good Wuthering Wave music? I like the Shopkeeper music, right? The sad music, right? Astra doesn't exist. Well, that's just one person, right? How about Astra Yao's Cantonese song? That's cool, but I'm sure all of these also has their own song, right? Equivalent to that. Why is Honkai Star Rail not even getting music? They have a concert every year. Because Genshin also has concert every year, right? So is it based upon concert though? It's just which one has the better music, I guess. Better variety. So I would say music is subjective, right? For me, if I have to pick music, I'll pick Nikke. Nikke has the most I like rock music a lot. And I think Nikke is the only gacha game that I know that has a lot of rock music. I think Genshin don't have much rock music. If you like jazz or like pop or like whatever genre that is, that's more like the like relaxing kind of music, maybe it's like Nikke, but maybe it's a Genshin here, right? But for me, it's like, yeah, for me, I would say Nikke is the better one. You don't play gacha for the open world? Gacha is gacha. Gacha is gacha, eh? So let's look at end game. Which one has the best end game? Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail has the best end game. Power creep. Okay. So why is Honkai Star Rail has the best end? I have no idea, right? So Honkai Star Rail do have a very good end game. So number 2, Wuthering Waves. Alright, why Wuthering Waves? Number 1, Whimpering Waves. Number 2, Tower and Whimpering Waves, right? Very, very good. Everybody likes those. So that is going to make for a very good end game combination. So yeah, I do agree, right? So number 3 is Honkai Impacted. How's the end game? I have no idea. I don't really play, right? ZZZ is number 4. And the worst end game? Gen has the worst end game. Now why is that? I have no idea. ZZ has good end game. Is it better than Honkai Star Rail? Because Honkai Star Rail is number 1. Okay, why is Honkai Star Rail number 1? You guys might not like it. I'm just gonna say it, right? Why is Honkai Star Rail number 1 in endgame? Because you can auto. You never thought I'm going to say that, right? Now listen, I'm trying to justify it for this particular person that make this tier list. Again, I'm not too sure what the reason is, but I'm gonna guess it's because you can auto. Everything else you have to play manually. Honkai Star Rail is the only game that the end game plays itself. You don't have to play at all. You just enter the stage, hands off, right? Go and watch your hentai and then it beats the game, right? Everything else you're forced to play the game. So that's why. If I have to guess, that's pretty much why, right? But why is Honkai Impacted in the middle, Genshin is the worst? I have no idea, right? I have no idea. Casual's dream? I guess that's what it is, right? Honkai has more permanent content. I'm not sure if that counts as endgame. Just build characters and auto. So what do people on Twitter think about this? Not a big expert on Wuthering Wave, okay? It's quite fair except for the animation. ZZZ has to be bumped up in that one. I feel like this is quite doing them dirty. Not to say other animations are bad, but I feel like ZZZ feels all alive in terms of animation. Yeah, I feel like animation ZZZ has to be one of the top one out there, right? So that's going to be stuff like that. For the story, Honkai Star Rail is still developing with tons of plot twists. Okay, that's fair. I'll put it first, second is Genshin Impact. We all know Genshin's combat and story isn't that good. I would say Honkai Star Rail and Wuthering Wave are going to be a little bit better. Honkai Star Rail did kind of flop over 3.0 story due to the rough start. Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to like Xiaoji's storytelling method, right? At the same time, that's just how it is. It is going to be a hit and miss with these kind of things, right? It's going to be a little bit of here and there. Story is subjective. Fair, right? ZZZ and you are copying hard as F, man. If you say anyone else, and I say that as a main Wuthering Wave player, and I play currently every game on this list. Event subjective, up to you. Combat subjective. Music again, ZZZ, no. No. Wuthering Wave above Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impacted in story is crazy. Okay, this one is actually pretty fair. Okay, it seems pretty positive. Everybody likes it. Right? Genshin story suffers from too much filler. Farming Honkai Star Rail, Lemao, you don't even need to do it yourself. That's the whole point. Yeah, that's the whole point, right? ZZZ should be number 1 for end game. Huh. ZZZ number 1, eh? Which has the best deaths? Combat is better in Wuthering Wave, the parry and all is very good. Other than that, I agree. Genshin is overrated. Wuthering Wave over Honkai Impacted in story. Let's also mention the fact that they all have 3 models that they choose from. Chibi, small, medium and tall. Yeah, sure it bothers some people, but I don't think is it that big of a deal though, right? Preferred Honkai Impacted combat. Honkai Impacted's combat. Yeah, that one is going to be up to interpretation, right? You would say Genshin I've been playing since 1.0 till now. Yeah, this is Honkai Impacted, right? Yeah, it looks pretty nice. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Design is too subjective, okay? Genshin doesn't have better animations than Honkai Star Rail, not even in a million years. ZZZ have top tier character design and the animation is quite unique too. I disagree, combat Genshin over Wuthering Wave. I swear this has to be the rage bait, there's no way you are a real person. Zenless at worst story, and worst character design, and almost at worst animation, and almost worst endgame. There's literally no way, I refuse to believe this. Okay, we got a hater. Everybody else agrees. Everybody else agrees with this particular tier list. But there's only one hater, right? That's fine. Sometimes you get one hater. Switch this, switch that. Better tier list, lore category added. Story ZZZ. Character design ZZZ. Animation ZZZ. Events ZZZ. Combat ZZZ. Endgame ZZ. Oh my, ZZZ shield. Wow, ZZZ shield. Hater needs to learn punctuation. Why would hater needs to learn that, right? They are there to hate. At the end of the day, you know, that's their objective. Everything else doesn't matter, right? I feel offended that Honkai Impacted got 3rd in the story. Then people are actually offended by this, really? They're actually offended by this, eh? That's kinda crazy. 7 out of 10, I'm an Art Knights fans. All of this is a bit debatable. True, with Hoyo games, but objectively speaking, Wuthering Wave undeniably has the best combat out of the 5. Okay, by a long shot with ZZZ, close second. How about Gen? I mean, combat it really depends, right? For example, Genshin, you can apply that reaction thing, right? And some people like that, I guess, to a certain extent, to be able to apply like combo with different elements. Genshin, garbage. I'll put Wuthering Wave for ZZZ. The dodging is bad and the combos suck. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'll put Genshin at the bottom. Okay, it seems like some people disagree. There are people that agree with it, but ideally it is going to be nice to see what people think about certain games, right? Especially, you know, some people they are just they are big Hoyo fan. That's just going to be how it is. Hating comes first. Agree, mostly agree. Endgame. Damn. Endgame is about Darkseid versus Superman. This is my exact thoughts if Genshin Endgame was second or first, but I love you for making this. Still disagree with some things like ZZZ animation is better than Honkai Star Rail. The thing is, animation can be subjective as well, right? And I don't think that some people might not like the animation in ZZZ because it's like a Gunner game. Right? Genshin is for kids. I don't think Genshin is for kids, but I do think that Genshin is family friendly and it is more suitable for kids. More suitable for kids compared to everything else, sure, right? In that particular case, you could argue, you could definitely say that. But in most cases, everything else, yeah, that's always going to be the thing, right? With all of these things,